hope it doesn't lag. All right, here we are. Here we are. Let me know if I'm lagging in everybody, and I will restart. But my internet seems to be really, really slow. Let's see who's in here. Hey, Pam, welcome. Welcome.
Hello.
Hey, Bunny. Hey, Huawei. Hey, wait, Dragon
Bruiser.
Got
Bruiser, Dragon Lair.
Yep.
Bob. Hi, Bob. Everybody hit that like button.
Yep.
Bunny. Hi, Bunny.
Howdy. I guess I'm not lagging. Everybody can see and hear okay. Yep. And there's the peanut gallery over there. Sitting over there saying, hearing Huawei. And he has his own little language that's word.
Hi. Hi there. Hi there. Hi there.
Something about Huawei. But I don't know what.
Yeah, he's saying Huawei.
Something about Huawei.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing this evening? Oh, what's your weather like, Pam, there? It's hot as hell here.
It's in the high 70s and real windy. Super windy.
It's overcast.
We got 70s again tomorrow, and then I think Monday it's supposed to get up to 90, which is going to be the hottest it's been so far, and I'm not looking forward to that at all. Not looking forward to that at all.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Holly, hello.
Hey, Holly. I saw some comedian the other day that said on YouTube or somewhere, or Instagram.
Coral works, hello.
Hey, Coral said that the reason they called Sin City was because it was so damn hot there. It was hot as hell. He said it was 108 there where he was.
Ugh. They were talking about tamales, and Huawei says he gets them fresh from a Mexican lady that doesn't speak English. I remember one time my ex brought home tamales that he had gotten from a lady at work that had brought some into work and was selling them. So he brought home a big bag of them. And I love homemade tamales, and I could make them if I had to, but they're a lot of work. I'd rather buy them. But anyway, we were eating them, and they were pretty good. And I asked him what kind of meat it was, and he wasn't sure. He thought it might have been pork. And I was like on my third one, and I bit down and felt something hard in my mouth.
Mm-mm.
So I pulled it out of my mouth, and it was a cat's claw.
A paw or a claw?
Claw. A cat's claw.
So they've been putting cats in their tamales.
It was cat meat. That's why I couldn't quite figure out what kind of meat it was. It was El Gato tamales. And I didn't eat any more of them either because I didn't particularly like that.
I don't know, besides rabies, what you might get from eating undercooked cat. But I don't want to find out.
I just, it's meat, and a lot of cultures eat it, but I just don't want to. Don't want to.
I read that back in not so long ago, a couple hundred years ago, even in England, the slums and people that were really poor, stray cats were fair game, and they'd call it rabbit stew. But it wasn't rabbit. Dragon layers are pork. Poor little pigs.
Pork tamales are good. I love tamales. Tamales are really good. But they are a lot of work. They're a lot of work. I've helped make them before, and it's quite a lot of work to make them.
Oh, that's nice. You'll have to show that when you get it done, Bunny. I keep thinking I'm going to go by and get some little pins, not pins, but like pins that have no head on them at all to mount art so that I can do a board of
jalapeno. That would be good.
A board of Pam's and a board of
usually, the tamale meat is usually cooked before you start putting them together, yeah.
I ate goat gyros in the Netherlands. I love gyros. I don't know what the local restaurants have in them, but it's good. I know that. I had one yesterday.
I've had goat meat before. It's not bad. Goat meat is not bad at all. I'll eat just about anything but cats, and I draw the line at cats and dogs. I won't eat cats and dogs.
I think the real Euros have lamb in them. It's good. I know that. Tamale meat is pre-cooked before you put it in. I hope so. Made them before, and it's an all-day deal to make them.
Yeah, it is an all-day thing to make them. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to make tamales.
Oh, did you know that Peter Mob Guppy sent me a message today and it's on his Facebook. I went and looked. He got his beard trimmed and a haircut, and he was at Walmart cruising around. And somebody in the chat wrote on his picture that he was the new king of Walmart. And said, I will see about that. So I got my beard trimmed, and I went over there and got my groceries. So like a pissing match. I told him game on. I saw that, honey. I wondered what was up with that. Horse meat's tasty too.
I don't think I've ever had horse meat, but I don't know for sure. I know that I had a neighbor when I lived in Baker, in Oregon, and Baker City, and they had a pony, like a little fat little pony guy, that their kids had grown up and learned to ride on and stuff. But their kids were all grown up, and they still had this pretty little pony. And they had some neighbors move in that had a ton of kids. So they went over and asked them if they would like this pony for the kids, and they said they would love to have it. The damn neighbors butchered the pony and ate it. I'll never forget that. I was so horrified. They were so horrified.
It's nasty. That had to have been some old sinewy meat. It was that old.
Well, yeah, it was an old pony. I mean, he was fat and stuff, but I mean, he was given to them for their kids to learn to ride on, and they ate him.
I think my phone is super slow. Like I just punched to make that solo layout, and it took it like 15 seconds. He can't keep his eyes open. That's why he got quiet.
Oh, is he sleepy?
Are we boring you? I left him out. Oh, there he
Hi
is.
there.
I left him out while I ran to the store, but I was only gone 45 minutes, and I'm not going to do that anymore, though I worried about him the whole time.
Yeah.
But he kicks ass on anybody here, though. He has some moves, I'll tell you. He can kick backwards, sideways, forward. He was getting me to wrestle with him earlier in there on his bathroom perch, and he was watching me. What was I doing? Oh, trimming up my beard. And he sat right on my shoulder and watched in the mirror like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Then he wanted to wrestle. When he flew back to his perch, he started kicking like kung fu to the right and stuff. He's funny. He sure does trust me. And some of the cats he gets along with, but some of them, if they come in, he gives them hell. Sarah upside down. Oh, I still haven't cooled off from being out. It's like 92 and overcast and muggy. Not a good day. I was thinking about mowing after this, but screw that. I will stay in.
My neighbor mowed my lawn again the other night, so I heard him fire up his mower, and I thought he was going to be mowing his lawn. Then pretty soon he was out doing mine. I'm going to have to give him a little drawing or something, because that's like 3 times this year he's done that.
Yeah. Or a life-size self-portrait or something.
He, one of his kids, like, parked his camper in front of my house because they don't have a lot of room, and I'm not too worried about it. I'm sure it's part of being a good neighbor, let him do that after he mowed my lawn.
My neighbor that's so finicky and picky and looks like a funeral home across the street. It really does. His lawn looks like a cemetery, and his house looks like, an old house cemetery, brick. You don't see them like that so much anymore, but good God. And then he put a curb along his driveway, and they called it shiny takey outy. So, but he worries about my yard. And he was out there picking up sticks one day, and I went out and said, what are you doing? And he said, Well, just bored, something to do, and I said, drop them. And I said, I want them where they're at. I'm like, get the fuck out of my yard.
Yeah.
Some people.
When I was in Texas, I was going for a ride with my daughter, and we went past like a funeral home. And I'll never forget this because it was Bumgarden's funeral home. And I told my daughter that that's where you go to bury your ass. Bumgardens. I thought it was perfect. Bumgarden's funeral home.
It is perfect. Are you going to be buried, Pam?
No, I want my kids to cremate me and then spread my ashes in Yellowstone.
Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah, that'd be nice. I haven't really decided anything except I want to be cremated. Our family plot, we had it. My sister still owns a church. I've mentioned that before, so she owns the graveyard too. It was deeded to her by our granny, and as long as they have church, which they do, they're welcome to use it. But we have a family plot there, about a fourth, I guess, of the graveyard. Not even that much, but it's starting to look like an Old West who's who of the local criminals in that thing. So I think I'll just spare them one more, and get cremated. I don't care where they throw me. I mean, does it matter so much? Not to me, it doesn't anyway. I want to be composted. I thought about that too.
That would be really good for you, Bob, because you're already full of shit. So you'd make some really good compost. You know?
You jumped on that, Pam. You are awake. All right.
Yep, I'm awake.
Jumped right on that with all 4 feet. Here's my Windex up there. You ever put Windex on your tanks, guys? I was spraying on a rag and then putting it on the outside. I'm going to spray it around the other day. Where I volunteer is an old funeral home. Oh, Holly. Cool. What kind of stuff do you do there? No, I'm being nosy because when you get a certain age, you can ask anything. Doesn't mean you'll get told. I like the liquefaction too. I've been seeing that stuff, but I don't know. You can also be buried in Tennessee. Some states you can't, but you can be buried here without being embalmed. That's kind of appealing too. The main thing is putting all those chemicals in the ground, because coffins, no matter what, always are, rot and open up and rust. And they go back in 100 years and there's nothing even in them. The Order of the Good Death has lots of, wait a minute. The one thing, that damn light, I'm set up for art here. Compost is out of your state. It's not legal. You can also look at burial grounds that are seeded with mushrooms or have a tree or something. That's a good idea. Yeah.
Anthony.
You're going to weekend at Barney's? Oh, nice. Dragon Lair, that reminds me somehow. I am not going to Repticon tomorrow because I have an ARC event to go to Sunday afternoon. So I want to get a little rest. There's some kind of animal event in Murfreesboro, which is closer than that thing in Atlanta for me, and I'm looking at that, but I don't think I'll go to it. It's still an hour's drive.
So how is your snake breeding coming along?
I haven't put the male back in with that new female except once, and she was real excited the first time. The second time, I could imagine her running around screaming, "Rape, rape." She didn't act like she remembered him, and so I don't want to leave him in there with her. She's way too big. She could eat him easy.
Yeah.
So, but he's still breeding with the original one, but I checked her really good a few days ago, and I don't feel any, in her. Somebody will tell me that can remember their terminology. Not eggs, but gonna be eggs. Oh, Bob, I won't. Yeah. your birdhouse. No, I didn't want you to drag it over there if I wasn't going, but I'm not. I am not. Ed and I went to the place they're having it there not too long ago. I want to say 6 months ago or something.
I think Anthony should come up here and show us some of his stuff. I think he's got some new things.
Does he?
I'm not sure, but even so, I think he should come up here and talk to us, show
I
us his
think
stuff.
I think I put the link in the chat, but maybe not.
Well, I'm going to put it right now.
At the top, I meant to. Ovals? No, there's a scientific term.
Oh, he's still at work.
Ovals. So what's that got to do with anything? You've pole danced before? Yeah. I think they ought to put all the U.S. on the same time. Everybody ought to be on Eastern time. So you have to always figure
Hey,
out.
Melvin, hello.
Hey, Melvin. Always a pleasure. Always. Ovules, that's what it is. There you go. But anyway, you should be able to feel like buttons underneath there, like down through there. And there was nothing a couple of days ago. This gorgeous Sarah. How are you doing today? And two, I told Pam that I was going to mention that if anybody is interested in joining us as a regular panel member, I have a couple of people in mind that
We could definitely really enjoy a couple people joining us.
Yep.
Most definitely.
I think Mike is getting back online. I see him on Facebook and stuff, but I haven't seen him on YouTube or anything, so he should be back. I'm anticipating. But anyway, we could use, the problem is we just have the four of us, and if one or two of us have something going on, Pam and I never have anything going on. We have no lives. I'm down to get off early one day if y'all want to schedule something. Just gotta put the request in ahead of time. What about next Friday? It'll be 4:30 your time. And also, I talked to a guy that I follow. I'm a member or whatever on his. Is it TikTok or Instagram? It's TikTok, but I follow him on Instagram too. It's Nate's Snakes. He was the one I was trying to think of a couple of weeks. And he only has like 7 snakes. I mean, that's plenty, but he has just got a false water cobra. And that thing is gorgeous. It's a baby. But I asked him last night at his live stream, no pressure, if he would come on Friday. And so he's in Pacific Northwest, up in Oregon, up in there somewhere. So he's getting off like at 4:30. So we're going to talk and see if we can work something out. So, hey, Jenny Lynn. So that's another possible. He said that not today and not next week, but possibly 2 weeks. So we can get you next week, Anthony. Maybe he can come. He has a YouTube channel, but he hasn't been posting on it. But nonetheless, he has it. So he could do StreamYard. He knows a lot. I really like him. I asked him one time a few weeks ago when I first found him on TikTok, if when he was live streaming, if he had like a herpetology degree or if he was self-taught. Or he said, "Oh, I'm self-taught. I've studied." So he reminded me of Patrick here. He said he started studying reptiles when he was a kid. If I had to guess and say this guy's 35, 40 would be pushing it, but anyway. I asked him last night how snakes, when they bite, poisonous snakes, how they know to squirt the venom out. How do they do that? Because every bite would be, a wasted if they didn't want to kill something, or if it was just a defensive bite or something. And And he said that the muscles actually that they stretch their mouths with, and we see them yawning and stuff, that they actually are able to utilize those and squirt it. So it's a conscious thing that they think about in that split second. Fortunately, I can't next week. Not available to take time off. The 28th. That may be the date that Nate's coming, but it isn't locked in. He may not. So let's plan on you doing that date. And then we'll try to get him to one after that. Yeah, that's him. Is that YouTube or is that TikTok? I'm getting so I spend more and more and more time on TikTok and YouTube.
I've never been on TikTok.
You would absolutely love it, Pam.
Really?
Yeah, so many artists on there. I follow a couple of artists. And one of them's kind of like the Bob Ross type, but this past live stream, he talked about mountains, how to make mountains, and I've been trying to learn how to do trees on there, and he was the one that I was showing y'all that made a tree, and I didn't like the way mine turned out, the smaller trees.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Their heads often drive by. Yeah, they do. You're right, Patrick. Used to get them in the emergency room a lot, people, and they wouldn't react to it at all. But anyway, they forgot what the hell we were talking about totally. No clue what the topic was. Do you remember, Pam?
Yeah. I don't know.
So, yeah. Just talking about something.
Bob, you need to teach people how to make trees. Happy little trees.
Yep, that's it. But anyway, he was showing how to do mountains, and I'm excited to try and do some, but I've started to try and do it myself just to see how they turn out, but I don't want to wait and just do the first one on a string. So I have not.
I've never even gone on to TikTok. I need to go on there and check it out, I guess.
Yeah, you can filter like pets, art, comedy, all kinds of stuff. I mean, and people go live and they post their little short. I post on TikTok all the time, like 15-second little snake and fish videos and stuff. I have more followers on TikTok than I do YouTube.
Really?
Already. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yep. Every day I get notices of people that are following me, new people, and every day, and I go follow most of them back. If they're a stripper or something, I prioritize those. But it's a lot more free on there. You can say MF, you can say the word, and you can say CUNT. You can just say stuff on there. You know, it's not, as long as you're not attacking somebody. It's more real life. You know, it's not as restricted. As long as you're nice. Anybody got on Threads yet? No, I heard something about that. I don't know what it is. Absolutely not. So I got to check it out. If Huawei's not going to get on it. I don't either. But I'm seeing more and more people in the fish fam. A lot of them are already on Instagram, but now I'm seeing a lot of them on TikTok. So more and more of them. It's just a lot more interactive and a lot more fun. And there's always a live stream going, always. And if you've locked in what you want to see that time.
I'm going to make a note for myself to sign up and check it out.
I've sent you lots of stuff on TikTok, man. I don't know why you're not checking it out. It's Facebook's answer to Twitter. Oh, Threads. I think that's a mess on there. And you know, Facebook has settled down some. It used to be horrible, but it's settled down. I mean, when you get all the morons blocked and the people that attack you, and I finally think I've got all of them.
Yeah, I've unfriended so many people on Facebook and blocked a lot of people, and just
But
because I just don't need the headaches. I don't want to argue with people, spend my day arguing and
but
fighting
do,
with people. So I just like, if they're going to come and like be nasty, I just like remove them and
yeah.
block
Well,
them
do
and
you know how many
everything.
people I've got on Facebook as friends? 5K, and that's
Yeah.
the maximum. So I've got several people waiting, and I try every day to add
Oh,
them.
wow. You have 5,000 friends on Facebook?
Check it out. So I can get
I
along.
don't have that many.
I can get along with 5,000 people. Can you believe it?
I have over 1,000 on my art page, but I don't
Yeah.
even know how many
So
friends I
anytime I post, like, come and check out the Tennessee Fish Mafia, I posted over there. I don't know if any of them come, but that's 5,000 people that get that are following me. Yep, yep. But yeah, TikTok is tons of fun. A lot more fun than YouTube. A lot more fun. And you don't have, well, I don't want to get into it. You don't have people that think they run everything and know everything, and like Facebook used to be. TikTok is just people having fun.
Oh, I only have 850 friends. You make me feel so inadequate now.
Yeah. Well, post something on my Facebook and see how many people you get. See if they like you. Post stuff about animals, or well, you'll see what kind of stuff I have on there. I had somebody tell me like a year ago that I think it was around election time. So I'm not either party. I'm in the middle, as you know. So I like to make fun of both sides, and I like to just stay in the middle. But anyway, there's a lot more territory to cover. But anyway, I put something on there, and somebody came on and started bashing me and saying, I've never seen anybody use their Facebook on my bullshit for a political post. And I blocked him, of course, but I went to his before I did, and that's all it was.
Yeah.
In the fish fam, in the fish fam.
Uh,
So got rid of that one. Smoked turkey. We're having the haystack stuff, like the taco salad kind of stuff, tomorrow or Sunday at this art thing. You put all the stuff that has, like, I don't know, it's kind of like a lasagna. I've never had one, but it's vegetarian. But one of the ladies is going to bring turkey to put in if you want turkey in yours, which I do. Can you go live on TikTok? I don't know if I can or not. I've never looked at it because I'm afraid I will. I thought about that last night when I was watching Nate. I think I should be able to. I don't even know how to check. I think you're on there, Anthony. I think I follow you. I'm not sure. Pam's going to post something about being a crotchety old woman, I bet. But she'll be in good company because I've got a bunch of old heifers on there. And they'll tell you something too. One time, and I've told a couple of people this too, but I'm not going to say who, Pam knows who, but somebody came on there that had done something to me. They really had something awful. But anyway, they wouldn't leave it alone then on YouTube. So they came on Facebook. And I belong to a group called 100 Nurses of Chattanooga. You can check it out. But it's not kind of an honor thing, but it's kind of like a who's who thing. And I was on there because of being a transplant case manager, I think, and being 100 years old. And I'm still on there. I'm still a member. But and I know some of them personally. I mean, Chattanooga's 30 minutes from me, and I worked in Chattanooga. But somebody came on, and I shared something about some event or something that we were going to sponsor or go to or something. The 100 Nurses of Chattanooga. Nothing to do with fish, politics, nothing. Just some event, a fundraiser for something, like people with two toes or, just something, nobody's business. And that person came on there and said, I wouldn't share this kind of stuff. It's, something, blah, blah, blah. Oh my God. Oh my God. The whatever of the Facebook page saw that because I shared it. So they took it personally and they were going to go get him in trouble. They found out his name and where he works and all of that, and that he was bullying And so I told her, yeah, he's been bullying me, blah, 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 and all that, and I'm just ignoring him, so I just blocked him on here. But she had already screenshotted it and everything, so you never know who you're effing with, F around and find out. So I had to kind of talk her down and talk her out of that, and say it really wasn't about the organization, it's just him being a moron. So, Melvin, what happened today with your roast? I got your link, Melvin, but I was at the grocery store, I think. How's your roast and how's your mom? But you won't ever get that kind of stuff. That was Facebook and YouTube. That incident, those incidents were with that person who's blocked now. But you never get that on TikTok, man. You never, never, never. It's just a whole friendlier environment, and people are living what live, and any topic you want, you can find. Or right now, there's a whole lot of stuff about politics and trans and just whatever's topical. But you can filter and see whatever you want to see. I like to follow the people that do those transformations, like the makeup and become a monster and stuff like that. Like that video that I sent you and Blackie and Sarah. Mama Kerr, that's her name, Mama Kerr. She's amazing. It must take days to do some of that stuff. Let's not bring politics up when it's convenient for them. Right? Exactly. There you go. Let's not bring politics in. Sam, I'm woke. Oh, here we go. So I wouldn't be welcome in there. Where is that? Threads? I missed something, but I always go back and read the comments. Hey, Jamie. Are you talking to me or Worm? Or Worm's the girl. Jamie's my buddy. She's going to the ARC thing on Sunday. We're riding together.
All right.
Yeah, well, she won't be saying that after she rides with me.
Just don't eat any beans the day before.
Hey, Worm. It's okay, Patrick. I'm a snowflake. See, I don't even keep up with what that stuff means because I don't get involved. Truth Social. Oh, Truth Social. That's why I wasn't on Truth Social. Okay. I've never been on that one. But yeah, if you look at my Facebook, it says I'm a centralist and a separatist. I don't believe in church and state mixing at all for no reason. That's wrong as two left shoes, and I don't go with either party. They're both messed up for me. So I have a heyday all the time. No matter what's posted, I have fun. Birds aren't real. Birds aren't real. Did you see, Bunny, did you see that bird like they were showing it on, I think it was Instagram, somewhere, that it was like it was flying over, but it was just like it was frozen in the air. I think it was a crow or some bigger bird. And it was just there. It wasn't moving. It was just in the sky like it was flying over. They say that there's a matrix, a glitch in the matrix. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. What do you think, Pam?
I don't think. What do you mean, what do I think? We all know I don't think.
What do you think about the theories that are, some of them are pretty scientific, and if you listen to them about there being like a, whatever, an alternate reality kind of thing going alongside.
Oh, yeah, I've heard a lot about it, and I don't know. I don't know what to think about portals and
Yeah, that's
universes and all that stuff. I don't know. It sounds a little bit too far out there for me, but there's a lot of fairly well-known scientists and stuff that say it's true, so it's hard to say. I have a hard enough time dealing with this reality, so I don't really want to have to mess around with other ones.
Uh-oh. You mean we have to deal with reality? Okay, well, Coral, see, I thought back, I remember Snowflake back like, I don't know, in 16, and I thought a snowflake was a liberal. You see, I don't even know, I don't pay attention. The bird was right in that draft. I don't know, it was there a long time and it never moved. Long, long time. They'll use any insult against any person who has any opposing viewpoints. Well, I was taught the moment that you get, and I never was on a debate team or anything, I did do some negotiating for contracts for the New York State Nurses Association, but I digress. I was taught that the moment that you make it personal, your arguments are no longer valid. You've lost your credibility. And I abide by that. I try to. Reality does flow. Alex said right on down. Friday, Bob. See you Sunday. I love you. Love my bird. Okay. She's high now. Did y'all see a bird back there? I'll call you before I head your way, Jamie. I hope y'all had a good day today. Typically used against liberal, left of center folks, but the definition is a silly insult that typically describes the insulter. Okay, makes sense. Project. Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed all around in politics. There's a lot of projection. People tend to call someone what they are or accuse them of what they are. So I try to keep my mouth shut so my secrets don't get out. I've never seen politics like it is right now. I never have.
No, I've tried saying that before, and some people have argued with me, but when we were growing up, you could be best friends with like Democrats and Republicans and argue politics and then have a beer afterwards and laugh and be good friends. Now that's not the case. It's like, if you don't agree with me, you are my worst enemy and you're an idiot and a snowflake
Yeah.
or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, even as far as saying, I've seen people say that you have to be careful of people on the left because they'll come to your house and murder you, and just all kinds of absolute nonsense. You know, that's like,
Eat your
oh
babies.
my God.
Eat your babies. Yeah, you're right about that. When I was, I don't know, 4 or something, I wasn't old enough. I was 4 because when I was 5, I started the 5th grade. But my poor old papa used to watch me a little bit in the afternoon, and there was nothing to do. I remember I hated it, and I would get in trouble. I fell off the porch, all kinds of stuff. But he was just, he could walk with a cane, but he was real old. He was like 20 years older than Granny. He was older than I am now, but he would sit on the porch and rock and dip snuff and chew tobacco and spit it out in the yard, nasty, you know. But Charlie Ferguson, that didn't drive or have a car, would come by in the afternoon and come down the hill walking, and he'd come up, and we called him Pat. Papa would say, come on, pull you up a chair. And they'd get the newspaper and start arguing stuff about politics and all that. A little town, you know, but it was the Daily Post Opinion.
Yeah, but they'd still be good friends.
It was so boring, but they would say, by God, or by God, I'll tell you what, if that, you know, just on and on. And I just sit there. They had a bench all the way across the porch, like an old church pew thing. And I would sit there on that or lay on it and go to sleep and listen to them. And then it'd be over and they'd shake hands, get up and shake hands. See you tomorrow.
Yep, exactly. That's the way that it used to be. And it's like, now it's like, if you don't agree with their views, then you don't deserve to be alive, you know? It's like, good God, people.
Yeah.
It's just politics.
West Texas. Alec is in West Texas. I bet it's hot out there. Jesus. Heavenly. Yeah, I know people that this is big Trump territory here, but a lot of people have changed that I know that voted for him too. So I try not to discuss it, and I don't allow it at the ARC at all. I had to let one volunteer go. I'm like, are you here to speak that shit, or you want to fight about Trump? Jesus. But he would tell people that they didn't understand, and someday they'd see, and their minds would warp. I mean, just all the really, I'm like, no, no, we're here to take care of the dogs and cats. I warned him like 3 times.
Yeah, I watched a guy. Well, one of my kids showed me because I don't follow my ex-husband at all, but he is very, very, very far right. And one of his friends said something about he needed to um, quit talking to his kids because his kids are liberals and they'll come and murder you in your sleep and da 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 da. And then he said he'd disowned his kids because they were idiot liberals like my kids are. And his dad didn't even say anything to defend his own kids, and I was like, holy crap. But it's like this guy that was commenting that, I kind of feel sorry for him because he disowned his kids over politics, and he's going to die a lonely old man with no kids, all because of stupid politics.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, people, get a grip.
Yeah, I don't know of any other time, not in my lifetime, that it's divided people like it has. But
Yeah, divided families and everything else. And it's like Tucker and his dad, my ex, disagree, but they still will talk to each other, although they have each other blocked on Facebook. But they'll call and talk and visit each other. Like Tucker will go see him and stop by and stay with him for a few days and ride horses and stuff. It's just but yeah, but they do have each other blocked on Facebook. But to sit there and say that your kids are liberal, so they're going to come over and murder you in your sleep, it's like
well, I don't
people
care.
are genuinely crazy, Bob.
Yeah,
They're
oh, I know.
genuinely out of their minds.
I don't care what anybody thinks or practices, as long as it doesn't hurt me or mine, and as long as they don't try to make me think like they do. That's where I draw the line. I can think for myself, and I do my own
Yeah,
research and reading, and I have my own opinions, and most people wouldn't agree with them, but that's fine. That's why I keep them to myself.
that's why their opinions.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody can have their opinions,
She's doing
but to
okay.
absolutely hate people for having different opinions than you, or think that they're going to kill you in your sleep, I think that's projection. Or disown your own kids so that you can die by yourself because you disowned your kids because their politics are different than yours. Good God, people, get a grip.
My mother's going to die soon. She's in her middle, late 80s, but she doesn't want anything to do with any of her kids. So we don't bother her. I gave up 20, 25 years ago. And
Hey,
she's
Mickey
actually,
M.
she don't want any kids around. Yeah, that's right, Dragon Lair. Freedom to think what you want and do what you want. But some people won't leave that alone. They want to push on you what they think's right and all that. And I can't go for that. No matter what I think, I'm not going to try to push it on somebody, and I don't want them pushing stuff on me. That's freedom. Hey, Mick, we should have got, it's pouring rain, we should have got Patrick out there shirtless in that rain.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
there you go. But seriously, if anybody wants to join us, we could certainly use some new blood and another person.
Like permanently join us. Yeah, like become a member of the panel. It would be really good to have a couple more people, reptile people, up here to throw in their opinions and views and experiences with having reptiles. So yeah.
Has anybody seen Saint's Dust? That's who I was trying to think of that had joined us on the Tennessee Fish Mafia. That he made it a couple times, and then he had car trouble or something one time, and a couple times he let us know, he wasn't going to make it. But then I don't see him or hear from
Yeah,
him.
I haven't seen him in anywhere for a little while. He's a young guy though. Maybe he got busy with his family or kids or something, and I don't know.
He's young to you, Pam, but
Yeah, everybody's young to me though, I know.
I know he was opening that store, that antique store, out of his house and moving his fish in there, so he may just be completely joined Reptales. We have people that'll come on a regular basis to guest, um, but I hate to keep imposing, on those people.
Well, I think we need some fresh blood and fresh opinions and stuff. Definitely.
Yeah, okay, well,
Fresh experiences.
I know Huawei doesn't want Dan the Turtle Man back on again. Whatever we do, he didn't want Dan on. Wasn't Church who said you are strange if you're not a socialist, and you're strange, conservative, and get no, yeah. All the tortoises are in hiding, I bet. It's getting dark here already. It doesn't usually till after 9. Well, I will admit that I'm fiscally conservative, but socially liberal. I think people should be left alone to live their lives as long as they're not hurting anybody. That's just the way I think. I don't want anybody messing with me. I'm trying to trim some hairs I see on my beard as soon as I get off here that I miss. So I'm holding on to these so I don't forget. Dusty has been recovering. From what? What happened? See, I didn't know anything happened. I figured something had happened, but Dee Dee was the contact with him. I'm environmentally conservative. Oh, definitely. Definitely. Yeah. You've seen the movie Stonehurst Asylum. No, the preview looks good though, Bunny. I watch it every time it comes up on. That's another thing about TikTok. They're rare, very, very, very rare ads. Very. I might be on there 4 hours and see 2 ads. And you just flip through them if that's you don't want to see it. That's a libertarian ideal. Yeah. I'm not a libertarian, that's for sure. But I do ascribe to some of their philosophies. I'm not anything. I'm just Bob. That's why it's so important to me not to have to join anything. But I do enjoy making fun of some of the political stuff. Dusty has some health issues that I'm not really educated on or in the position. Okay. I respect that. I'm glad you don't. So he's lost a fish.
Oh, that's too bad.
Oh no. Oh, that sucks. Well, I have him on Messenger. I might send him a nice message and just check in with him. That sucks. Yeah, kind of the same, Dragonland. I could never get 5 people, I bet, to agree with all the things that I opinion on. Oh yeah, I just got a text from the specialty pharmacy with my Medicare that tells me, and Pam will get a lot of mileage out of this, I have a rupture, not a herniated, but a ruptured disc in my neck, and the pain from it sometimes goes to my left shoulder, but it always goes up to this right orbit and over. So that's always so sore. I can barely stand to comb my hair over there. But the doctor, the pain doctor I go to, why did I touch that? Now it's starting. Asked me if I'd ever tried Botox, and I said no. So that just got approved, and that's what that specialty pharmacy message was. They approved me an initial dose and 3 refills, so yay. Botox has such little side effects. One of the side effects is that it, tightens skin and fills wrinkles and all that. Oh, that's not exactly the way it works, but that was a side effect. That's not what it was invented for. On both liberal and conservatives, but shoot, far either way. Politicians are pretty much all evil once they get power. Yep, because there's always somebody there with something for them, or with a special interest, or we elected you, we want this one, so they're pulled 100 different ways, and then the money is always there.
Alex Diego, hello.
Hey, Diego. We've talked about everything except reptiles. For an hour. I did shove some reptiles over my head a while ago. Sitting on the table. I turned lights on in case anybody wanted to see anything. I got a fresh bunch of bananas Huawei, so if Pam streams tomorrow night, be ready. It's so strange as a sweet hearing the word liberal in U.S. media. Yeah, nonsense. But I try to read far away and I can't. The word liberal means to be positive to freedom, I know. So we often think, well, who isn't a liberal then? I know. And also, not that I'm pro-liberal, but you get on and look at some of the things like Social Security, after-school care, just all kinds of stuff, insurance, that the liberals are literally responsible for. And so are conservatives for some things. But it's amazing how, like you say, to your point, liberal is a dirty word in this country for some people. It's all double. Yeah. Yep. Right, Dragon there. Someday we'll have somebody that'll be able to get people back toward the center, or at least talking to each other decent and working together, I hope. But yeah, the power thing is, I think, the problem, staying in power. That's the crux of it. Wow, I've got 7 people already in messages that want to join us. No. There might be 7 there, I haven't looked. Yeah, you're right, for ooh, that's a good analogy for them. I think you and I are very close in a lot of our thinking. Now I'm opposite from Pam, but I put up with her for that. Pam, we talked politics before. Yeah. Hollywood for ugly people. I love that. And we should do like a live stream that is about politics. I bet we'd get 100 people in there.
Everybody be yelling at each other.
No, they wouldn't. Well, they would put them in timeout. Well, I can't say so and so's coming on next because I have no idea who is on or who's coming on. If anybody knows, always, or anybody you want to send us over to, what I hate when people say, "Did you know Abraham Lincoln was a Republican?" Not knowing that Democrat and Republican switch platforms. Of course they did. Yes, they
Yeah,
did.
they did. And yeah, I've like had that argument with people too that, they'll say, well,
Pam, you were a
you
little
know,
girl then. Pam lives.
Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. And yeah, but in the 60s, the Republicans and Democrats basically did a little flip flop.
Again, I remember that.
Yeah.
I was in my 20s then. I remember that. Yeah, and I hate it when I hear them say this is what the so and so's have done, and theirs was the party of Lincoln, and now and Lincoln with this. I'm like, but it's not the party of Lincoln. I mean,
Yeah, it's not anymore.
they changed
But
that.
yeah.
Taylor's, Bruisers. Taylor's, have you asked Dansley about coming up on Reptales? Not on Reptales, but I was going to ask him to come up on Tennessee Fish Mafia. Dan is
I
not.
was just talking to him this morning.
Well, he's not a fan of the camera. He doesn't sometimes mind.
Yeah, he doesn't like the camera. When he comes up on my streams, he would once in a while, and he would not show his face. He would just show his tanks.
No, well, ask him, Pam. I was just going to say a while ago when we were talking about.
I was just
Rusty.
talking to him this morning, and he said he's been really, really busy, and he was like apologizing for not.
Well, I haven't seen him
Around, but-
anywhere because usually he'll come in the stream here at the end of the. Right
Yeah,
at the
he hasn't
end.
even been posting a lot on Facebook.
I
He
know.
used to post a lot of photographs and stuff, and he hasn't even been doing that.
He posts a ton of
But
stuff.
he said life is just super busy right now. But as soon as it calms down, he'll be back around.
He posts a ton of stuff, those beautiful flower pictures and plants on Instagram, but he hasn't been doing that the last few weeks. He's big on Instagram. He's one of the ones that got me interested in Instagram a couple of years ago. Government can't make any income tax if the jumped on the slaves don't get paid. And for I've not seen him in a while either. I heard Dan's Fish is going to be in my town trying to find what's up. Yeah, he's going somewhere soon, Anthony. He's supposed to be sending me my bill for sponsoring those fish last week or the week before. I know he'd been sick a few days, so I'm not pestering him about it. To pay for those. Giveaway is what I'm trying to say. I agree, Sam. I stopped watching Orbis. What are y'all talking about that? Oh, on the time. Yeah. I don't like to watch the political streams. You have to hear it enough, like at the barber shop and the grocery store. Okay, I read that. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Hope you enjoyed and learned a lot about reptiles. What was that song, Pam? Do you remember? You're older than me, so you probably do. I think it was called Little Egypt, and it says something about she walks, she talks, she crawls on her belly like a reptile, and it had like carnival music. You remember that?
I just vaguely remember. Yeah.
I don't know what made me think of that. Jesus. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. And when are you streaming, Pam?
Tomorrow night.
At your usual time?
Yep.
It's like a reptile fish art stream?
Yep.
Bird stream? Y'all only want me on there for Floyd. I know. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, everybody. Thank you for coming in, and everybody have a good weekend.
See
and hopefully I'll see at least part of you tomorrow night.
and everybody's Sunday on Tennessee Fish Mafia.
Yep, yep.